Last time on Dungeons and Dravanians. Aboard the Misery, our unlikely companions narrowly survived a vicious attack by a crew of enthralled serpent reavers, limping to land at Aleport, where they have discovered that a land once familiar, vibrant and cultivated, has been reduced to an uncharted frontier wasteland. With orders from the company and the Maelstrom, our party sallies forth uncertain of what they might find, but mindful that they may well be riding to their doom. Whatever doom awaits, we will discover tonight in the continuation of Dungeons and Dravanians. Welcome back, everyone. You guys have set out from Aleport to the west in the direction of where you remember Hearthstone having been up until a couple of months ago. I'm going to assume that Alpha is not particularly familiar with Lenosha, with Vilbrant, but I think that both Brayflox and Varen would be, right? So,
correct.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, although the geography is a little unfamiliar, as you're kind of following along the western Lethagran road, it very quickly kind of vanishes. And as I mentioned, what you're used to seeing in this part of Lenosha, in Quarterstone here, is kind of hardy but relatively verdant rolling green hills and little courses of trees kind of dotted about here and there. And it is just a blasted gray and brown hellscape. Basically, you've got the cliff falling down towards the sea on one side and just brown scorched hills on your right. And as the road runs out and you realize that you're on ostensibly unmapped territory, I would like both Leek and Varen to make a, let's say, a survival check.
For goodness sake.
Okay, Brayflux has no idea where she is. She not even sure that she's on Vilbrand anymore. This looks like something out of the Seventh Hell. Varen, you know that you're still heading west. You know that you're heading in the right direction. But you have the same kind of impression that this island that you grew up on, this home of yours, it's just gone. There is just nothing left. You've heard some people in, taverns and around Limsa talking about how the scholars and the astrologians are describing this umbral era, and you'd kind of thought it all a little bit hyperbolic until now. It just strikes you, and you're reminded of Cartano, and you see that it's not a dream. It wasn't localized. You thought that once you left that place behind, then that was it, but it's not. That said, you do manage to slowly make your way in the direction of Hearthstone. It takes you by Chocobo about 6 hours. So as you're approaching, it's getting close to midday. It's about midday, yeah. And the only way that you know you're approaching is that you actually, over the next hill, you hear screaming and yelling, and you see a couple of farmers running towards you, led by a female Mikote. You can tell that they're sort of terrified by the sight of you. They're concerned that you may be bandits of some sort, particularly, with a goblin in your midst, but they are not half as terrified of you as they are of whatever is behind you. And they stop in front of you, gasping, as you presumably pull your chocobos up, unless you want to keep riding and ignore them.
I can't stop. I mean, I can't keep going. No, I have to stop.
Okay.
I keep going. Flux will slow down, and then eventually come to a stop as Alpha does, and then attempts to raise their hands, as in "I'm not armed" type at the moment type of thing.
Okay. All right. So Varen, you just keep riding straight past him.
Yeah, it's just like a slow, like Chocobo's doing like a slow walk. It sees people, like we see the people coming, and I see the looks. It's nothing I haven't gotten before.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep walking.
Okay. Well, in that case, this Mikote woman addresses you, Alpha. And she is out of breath. She's been sprinting for obviously longer than she's used to sprinting. And she just says to you breathlessly, you've got to help him. I don't know where they came from. They came out of nowhere. Ergamir, he stayed. He told us to run. He's fighting them off, but he's an old man. He's not a soldier. You have to help us, please.
Which direction?
She points off behind her to the west, just over the hills. Maybe a mile away. I don't know. I do not know how long. I don't know how long we've been running. I don't know if he's still alive, but you have to, please, you have to help him.
Varen. West.
May I roll an insight on this lady?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please. Thank you. All right. I got a 10.
Okay. You believe that she's being entirely genuine. She looks terrified. The three other people with her, there's two Cure men and a young Lalafellan woman. They're all farmers. They're all wearing kind of work gear. They're unarmed, and they just look scared out of their mind.
Oh, Brave Fox clearly thinks they're truth tellers. Oh, what can go wrong? Alright, yeah. She will just try, as her hands are already raised, she will do like a motion to like calm down type of thing. And then like nod to her companion as Alpha also shouts towards Varen.
Okay.
That's what we're here for anyway.
All right.
Listen,
Well,
the farmer, you need to find a safe place to hide. If you try to make it back now, it'll be nightfall, and you can't do that alone. So you need to find a place to hide.
We'll see if we can find some shelter along the way, but it's the Sargon. We have to get to Ailport. We have to let them know. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. Just go and save Egamir, please. If he's still alive, you have to help him. And they just kind of keep sort of half running, half stumbling off to the east in the direction of Ailport.
Aloha meows at them as they run.
Okay.
Yes, let us as fellows help this egg elder.
All right, so we know where we're going now. At
Mm.
least I hope.
How would you like to proceed?
We could approach sneakily. We could like abandon our chocobo to some place safe for them, tie them up, and sneak in, or we could just gallop right in, gung ho.
If there's anything I've learned over the years, sneaky approach is probably the better one. I don't know if that one is going to agree with us, however.
Yes, Brave Flux does suggest some sneaky steps.
I've done covert missions before. I can handle sneaky.
Okay.
I'll agree for once.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay. As you guys continue west, you notice a high plateau begin to rise on your left-hand side. Sorry, on your right-hand side, and on your left, the cliff moving down to the water gets steeper and steeper and higher, and you find that you're on this relatively narrow kind of cliffside path as you move along. until suddenly cliffs rise on your left side as well, and you're walking down a very narrow valley. And again, you're not familiar with the geography anymore, Vern, but your guess is that this is probably whatever Skull Valley is now, which gives you the sense that you're very close. So you guys dismount. Are you going to send your chocobos back towards Aleport?
The person who got us the chocobo should probably make that decision.
Okay.
Is there anywhere like well hidden to kind of tie up a chocobo?
No, not really. There's no way to tie. There's no like trees or anything to tie up a chocobo in this valley. It's just like blasted dirt.
We'll find something else pretty soon. And then I hop off my chocobo and then kind of give it turn around, give it a slap on the butt, and it just starts running away.
Okay. You guys want to do the same?
I follow suit.
Okay.
Brave Fox will hop off.
All right. Okay. So there's a pretty straight shot down this valley, and you notice it starting to come to a bend. As you approach this bend, you see jutting out of the side of the cliff face on your right, starting at about eye level and stretching up to about 20 feet, is just this massive deposit of bright blue gemstones of some kind. I think you can each roll me an Arcana check if you like.
19.
Okay. All right. So we get a 19, a 5, and a 6. Brayflox with a 19. You can tell immediately that these are water crystals, and not just that, but extremely potent water crystals in much greater density than you have ever seen anywhere.
Mm-hmm. This immediately causes Brayflox to freeze in their step, because they have quite the experience dealing with certain things in the past, and this has given them essentially a harsh reminder of what could be.
Okay.
Yeah, so that she most certainly points this out right away and warns her comrades.
Okay. I will give you guys an opportunity now. There are a couple of sort of waist-high but fairly broad boulders as you approach the bend in this valley. If you like, you can each roll stealth checks to see if you can approach.
I will definitely do that. Let's
Okay,
see.
same modifier, that's nice.
Okay.
20 for me.
Okay.
I believe mine's a +5 for this. +3, +2 or something.
Yeah, if you have proficiency in stealth, it'll be a +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brayflox is a
So
small
my-
one. This makes sense.
20 + 2.
As you guys move up and duck together around these boulders, you hear shouting and you hear grunts and sounds of battle and hisses. And you can't quite see what's causing it. But then you see a man sort of stumble back so that he's visible around the bend, and he spies, he spies Alfred out of the corner of his eye and gasps and yells hoarsely, "You there! Help! Help, please! Are you from the Maelstrom, please? Oh God!" And he falls backwards as you see a Sahagan jump on top of him. What would you guys like to do? He's
Great.
only
Does the
he's only seen
Does
Alpha.
the Sahagan,
Okay.
okay. So the Sahagan's only seen Alpha? Or
No, the man.
No, the
has only-
the Sahagan has not seen Alpha, but the
Okay.
the man has. He's a large Rogadan man, looks middle-aged. Maybe it's hard to tell.
Is there a roll we can do to see if because there's one Sahagan, but we don't know how many there are. Is there a roll we can do to see how many there are?
Yeah, roll me perception.
May I do the same?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as Brave Fox shakes her head at the Egg Elder, she will look around for other threats. Ah, only 10. Too busy rolling my eyes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's a 10, a 9.
So,
Yeah.
so perception is wisdom
Charisma.
modifier, right?
Yeah, Van can tell that there is at least 2 Sargon by the sounds of it, but there's not like an army. There's not like a huge number of them. And as you guys are sort of faffing around trying to assess the situation, one of these Sargon stab this Rogadan man, the one that's jumped on him, stabs him in the shoulder for 5 damage. What would you guys like to do?
May I
So
take a dagger and throw at the Sahagin? It's silent. It doesn't go boom.
You are currently...
Is that like too far away?
Yeah, you're
right.
70 feet.
That's fair enough.
70 feet away from this Sargon.
how close is Varen?
You're all standing... Oh, how close is Van? You guys are all standing next to each other behind this boulder. You're all about 70 feet away from this Sargon or 65 feet away from this Rogadan man. Sorry, forms, not feet. Yeah, you don't know what feet are.
If we can get this done quick and not make a lot of noise, might be able to save him.
Yeah, well,
So
he's already
in
stabbed the
terms of
fellow.
in terms of the position of the boulder and the Sahagin,
Yes.
if I were to maybe push the boulder, would it go in the direction of the Sahagin?
Let's look on the direction of the man.
It's not a boulder that you... I mean, you could certainly try, but it's not a boulder that you would be able to roll, probably, by the looks of it.
No.
Okay, what were your stealth rolls again?
Mine was a 20.
Okay.
22.
Mike's was
actually.
a...
Yeah,
Mike's
mine was 20.
2012 and 22, yeah. 20,
Okay,
20.
what the Sargon that has just stabbed this man, he can see you now as well, Mike, and he hisses and shouts out, "Rally! There are more of them. They have reinforcements." And you guys can roll initiative.
Damn it.
All right, then, here we go.
Alfred, do you know the definition of covert?
Listen, doesn't always work out, all right? It's been a rough day.
Okay.
Yep. Disney's away from me.
For initiative, I roll which one? Which modifier?
Plus dex.
There's so many crystals.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
It is all ever be.
Okay, so Egmar here is going to be going first, and if I can find his stat block, that would be wonderful. You can see that he is only armed with a botanist's hatchet. He does not have any kind of martial weapon as you would describe it, and he already looks in a pretty bad shape. At the moment, you can only see the one Sahagin that's basically on top of him, and he is going to try to basically swipe at him to push him back. And that will hit. 7 damage. Ooh, okay, all right. He is obviously very, very desperate. You guys see, lumbering around the corner here, a Sargon that is about... He's not quite as big as the Rogadan that you saw before, but he's easily 7 feet tall, albino, and just covered in blue tattoos. And he steps around the bend here so that he can see the three of you, and he just smiles and hisses, and there are only 3 of them. More blood for the wall. And is he in range? So I'd say this is half cover, which gives you what to your AC? I think it gives you plus 2 to your AC, half cover. Let's go with that. Let's say that the rock is sufficient for plus 2 AC. He's going to throw a trident at Alpha, since Alpha is kind of the tallest and sticking out the most, but he's going to have to do so with disadvantage because he is nearly 60 feet away. And whiffs it. So he throws one of these tridents. He's got kind of several tridents on a kind of like sling on his back. And he chucks one at you, and it collides with the rock with a loud sort of clang. And yeah, he hisses at you. Now, the one that is on top of Ergamar is going to swing at him again. And is going to hit for another 5 damage. You've never heard a Rogadan scream before, but this is definitely the closest that you've heard, as this Sahuagin just once again jabs pretty much in the same spot as he did into Ergamar's chest. Okay, Mike, it's your turn.
All right. Let's see if I can actually get a decent roll for once. That would be a fantastic thing to happen at this point. How far can I make it? Oh man, he's really far.
I'll say you can make it up to the big one.
I can get literally right here. I'd assume that's in melee.
Let's say that it is.
We're gonna try this again.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna roll my first unarmed attack, and I swear, if it misses, I'm gonna be genuinely upset. I'm genuinely upset.
You, I suppose, are just not quite standing close enough to him when you take your first attack. You kind of like jump the gun a little bit as you're running in. Maybe you think your arm's a little longer than it actually is. You can take another attack though with your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a regular follow-up attack.
Okay. I'm
not tempting fate again at this point.
Cool. That is also gonna be a miss.
I hate this game.
Okay, It is the other Sahuagin's turn, and they're pretty confident that their friend can kind of finish off Ergamar here. So he is going to... He's going to move up here. Egg Elder. So stupid. Okay, he's going to move up here. So he's got partial cover behind this boulder, and he is going to... Yeah, he's going to chuck a spear at Alpha. Okay. And that is not going to hit. So you manage to dodge out of the way. And that is all he is going to do because he cannot get into melee range. Bray's turn. Brayflux.
So Brayflux was having a thinky plan while all this shenanigan was going on.
Okay.
And she has decided to step into the fray. She'll step around to the cover.
Okay.
Bravely, not foolishly, I assure you. And she will throw a bomb at the fucking crystals.
Oh, wow. At the crystals?
At the crystals. She knows what they're for.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so clearly everyone else got everything else under control. Surely. Yes. Very good. So she will throw her bomb. So big old hole in the center. What would be the blast
radius of the crystals?
Shrapnel.
We'll see, won't we?
We'll find out. All right. Let's go. All right, I'll roll damage then.
Okay,
1d8.
Yeah. That'll definitely hit the crystals.
1d8 flat. Let's go.
Okay. You hit the crystals like pretty high up on this cliff face. At first, nothing seems to happen. They sort of crack a little bit. And then you see these cracks expand and they run down the length of this cliff face, basically made up entirely of crystals. And they start to glow, and you see radiant sort of ethereal energy beginning to kind of seep out of these cracks until this glow becomes like a blinding blue light. A huge portion of these crystals just explode out of the rock face. Alpha, I am going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. A +5 for you.
D20 +5?
Mm-hmm. Neither you nor any of the Saga nor Ergamar take a save from this. You all get hit by shards of crystal, shrapnel, and this kind of blast, this sort of explosion of radiant ether that escapes from this crystal rock face, and you are all going to take...
Fine, if I kill everyone, I can make up my own story.
You're all going to take 16 magic damage. You're going to take 16... Actually, I'm not sure what type of damage it would be, but you take 16 damage.
I'm tired of these bombs. Nothing good comes from this for me.
So, the Sargon that has been attacking Egamir is dead. The other one is quite badly injured. The crystal just kind of like shreds through this rock face, and like more of that kind of like kicks up like splinters of rock into his face, and yes, he's very hurt. The big guy, I mean, he just takes it. He just stands there. He just kind of like turns his back and just like takes this kind of explosion falling in his back, and he stumbles like a couple of steps forward, but he's still standing and he's absolutely fine. Egamir is looking really bad. He's looking really bad, and he kind of like looks over at Brayflux with tears in his eyes, just like, why? Okay, cool. Holy shit, I was not expecting that. Okay, Varen, it's your turn.
So Varen, let's see, 30 feet.
Yeah, I'll say, because I did for Mike as well, I'll say you can get up in melee range with the big Sargon as well. So just move yourself up beside him if you want to do that.
All right. So Varen kind of does like this angry march, and then like marches like as he gets up to Brayflux and walks past, he just looks behind, looks at her like, the fuck are you doing? And then looks back, gets right up to the Sahagin, and he will berserk.
Okay.
And attack.
All right, roll with advantage. Okay. And that one would just do it. Okay. So you hit him with a 14 roll damage. Okay, that is 13. All right, geez, you've done a lot of damage to these Sargon already. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, they're not the only one.
All right, cool. It's Ergamar's turn.
How's the big one looking?
Yeah, he's looking fine.
Okay.
Egamar struggles to his feet with one hand on his knee and sort of like half sprints, half limps over towards this Sargon who's covering behind the rock, and again just kind of still reeling from this crystal shard explosion. And he's gonna bring his little botany hatchet to bear.
Oh, he's quite the brave one.
And it is going to miss. He's still kind of blinded from the flash of this explosion, and he can barely stand, so he stumbles forward and just kind of like cracks his hatchet into the axe as he almost like falls against this Sargon, just so desperate to take a whack at this guy.
Can he hear us? He can certainly hear us.
I
would assume.
The bomb explosion.
Yeah, he might. He might hear you. Do you want to try to call out to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You fucking idiot! You're a botanist. Get the cover.
He kind of slurs back. They'll not take my farm ever again. I will die here if I must. And he doesn't care.
This fucking mission wasn't worth it.
All right.
I mumble.
I should have gotten you to roll persuasion, but you would have to roll like 30 persuasion to be able to convince this guy to stop fighting at this point. So I don't think we'd bother. All right, it is the big guy's turn, and after you've just taken a swing at him, he's going to return the favor. Now I have to ask, are you at full health at the moment?
Yes, I am. We got a long rest.
That's good. But you also went reckless, didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
So he'll have advantage.
Yes, he will. All right, so he definitely hits you with his spear, with his trident, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And he will hit you for... So that's 5 plus... Okay, hits you for 9 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so he swings his trident low into your kneecap, and it hurts. And it is now Alpha's turn. Oh, and you reduce that by 2. Don't forget, because you're berserking.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's try this again. At this point, it's a salty rollback. So I'll do the regular unarmed attack on the big guy. I'm getting sick of this.
Well, the dice really, they just don't like you, do they?
They only like you. You're the only one they've liked. This, and the one thing that almost got me killed is the only other thing it's like.
Okay, you still have your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm flurry of. I have to flurry.
Okay.
At this point.
Roll 2 more attacks.
2 d20s. Well, plus 5 each of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of those will hit. So roll damage.
Need both. Come on, game.
Okay, that's a good hit. So he manages to basically block the first 2 of your punches, and then you kind of spin around and kick him just below the sternum, and he sort of doubles over, and he's actually now like he's not looking great. He's looking like he's gotten the wind taken out of him a little bit. So it's this one last surviving Sargon's turn. And he is going to first make a spear attack with advantage against Egamir, because he's got Blood Frenzy and it's a crit, which is going to... Oh, geez, you guys.
Don't blame us. We didn't roll that.
All right, that's going to do 6... Oh, my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So he sort of backhands Egamir as Egamir kind of misses this attack and fumbles against the rock. And Egamir kind of falls over backwards. And without saying anything, Egamir just stares this Sargon dead in the eyes as this Sargon holds both hands above his head with his spear and just skewers him straight through the center and buries it into the ground. And Egamir is dead. It is Brayflux's turn.
Yes. So I would like to imagine at this moment, everything becomes hushed in her mind's eye. The background music that is currently playing, that quietens down. The sounds of battle and cries and screams and fighting all dampen in her head, and she wishes deeply for a short stop, nay, mayhap a long stop in the future. Yes, I think very soon she would like to retire, perhaps back to somewhere much quieter and nicer than this, and take all her savings and hard-earned work and build herself somewhere nice to reside, away from this craziness of this world right now that she finds herself in. She's not very good at throwing bombs, she realized. Maybe she'll be better at doing other things in life. Perhaps culinary delights such as cheese. Yes, maybe she will make cheese in the future. She has acquired many a recipe that which she would probably like to work on very soon. And upon thinking on this and deciding that yes, this is the path she would like to take, all the sound comes back as a roar in her ears, and she picks up her musket and takes aim at the large Sahagin.
Okay.
Yes.
Brayflux a little distracted today.
I definitely agree. All right.
Okay. So
Very.
we have the moment where everything goes still and the wind seems to stop and we see, you know, this glint on the goggles of Brayflox as she breathes in and just enters this trance, and there's no other sounds but the click of her trigger and her gun jams, and nothing comes out.
Yeah, her decision has been made.
Okay. That was beautiful. Varen. God, the dice hate you guys tonight. Varen, this is your turn.
Please.
Varen, who is obviously, enraged, he is furious.
Mhm.
Not only at the situation, but his companions as well. Like, focuses that fury towards the Sahagin in front of him.
Okay. Okay, that'll hit. All right. For 13 damage. Okay, and you didn't have to go reckless there. Cool. So you take another swing at this guy, and he kind of raises an arm to sort of protect his chest, and you kind of bury your axe into his arm, and you definitely hit bone. And he doesn't like it. But he is still standing. He is absolutely still standing. And it is now his turn. And with you having taken some damage, he can smell blood. And he will still have advantage against you with his blood frenzy.
Oh, he has blood frenzy.
Yes.
Huh.
When you are injured, he rolls any melee attacks with advantage. Okay. And I don't think either one of those are going to hit. Let me see.
Nope.
What is it? It's plus... hold on. Plus 5 to hit. So will he hit you with a 15?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Your AC is 16, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, lucky you. So he goes to stab, and you manage to parry it with the flat side of your axe, and he is basically going to come in with his other arm and slash at you with his claws, and that is also going to be with advantage. And I think, that'll hit. Okay. So he hits you. He claws you across the face for 6 damage.
So 4.
4 damage. Okay. There you go. Cool. Alpha, it's your turn.
All right. So, how healthy is the big guy still?
He's like bleeding a fair bit. This kind of nasty, thick blue blood. But he's still on his feet, and he doesn't look out of breath. He just looks furious. He just looks angry.
Do bonus actions have to be taken against the same target?
No.
How the other one's on its deathbed, I'd assume.
It doesn't look in a good way.
All right, I'm gonna move.
Okay, that will provoke an opportunity attack if you don't.
Okay, then I'm not
disengage.
gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Then I'm not gonna
say
do
that.
You could use your action to disengage and then move, and then use your bonus action to attack the other one as a
That's
monk.
not what I want, though. That's not what I want. I think I'll just take the attacks against
lay
the
into
target
him?
in front. Then
Okay, cool.
lay into him. Well, if I lay into him, I mean this is gonna miss again. But yeah,
We'll see.
that's what I mean. Mm-hmm.
That's a hit.
Great. All right, thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yep.
That's something. All right, that's my first hit. All right,
6 damage. Okay,
Now I'm gonna flurry of blows,
cool.
as I really need to do something in this fight. So it would be great, fantastic, if these both rolled well. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay,
Yes.
they both hit. So you can also use Grease Lightning for another attack now. Okay.
Got a little too excited. At least that's +9 to it. So.
Okay. You just I see you kind of like jumping up with your knees up against this guy's chest, and he falls backwards, and you just start laying into his face. How would you like to take him out?
I'm gonna snap his neck. Is what I'm gonna do.
Wait,
Okay.
like
Wait.
Varen, quickly, like he kind of like sees that you're laying into him and you're like really about to kill him, and Varen just yells, "Don't kill him! Leave him injured." I have questions.
I mean,
Fine.
okay, you want to do that? You don't want to snap his neck?
No.
Okay.
He's not the one who killed the old man.
All right.
We
Well,
can save that privilege.
he is unconscious, and you punch him a couple extra times for good measure. That is your turn. So, this second one, he is going to.
Is he gonna flee?
Attempt to flee.
Okay, he is going to see that you've taken out the big one, and he's gonna run over to the well. There's a destroyed well here that descends into a shaft, and he's going to stand on the edge of it, and he is going to throw his last spear at Alpha with disadvantage. And
oh man,
it goes wide, and he's going to hiss at you. Foolish, finless ones, you will repent. But that's his turn. That's all the movement he can do. You can see that it looks like he's about to jump in that well. I think you, with your passive perception, all of you can intuit that like fairly easily.
We don't have an idea how deep the well is and if he'll even survive the drop.
I mean, you guys can't tell from here, but there is a long
yeah.
drop.
Okay.
Did he go into the well?
No, he didn't have enough movement.
You gotta stop him.
So he's standing on the lip of it.
Okay, what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
Wait, what's
Fox.
the radius in that?
As you see him run over there, you
Okay.
notice that there's actually another dead Sahuagin already hanging like half out of the well where it seemed to have been climbing
fine.
out.
So I'm gonna run to this point here and get out my special bomb, which I have made into a sleep bomb.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw the sleep bomb right here. Or attempt to.
Okay.
I have a 90-foot reach.
Mhm.
It doesn't specify a radius. It's just a sleep spell, essentially. Basically, I have to also roll a 5d8 pool of health, and if they are with under that pool, as in they don't go over it, then they fall asleep.
You said 5d8?
Yes.
Okay, he's got less than 5 health, so don't worry about that.
Okay, I'll just roll in.
Okay.
Don't fudge this up. Don't fudge this up. Yes.
Okay, that'll hit. I want you to roll me
Okay.
a d6. With a 1, 2, or 3, he'll fall backwards into the well, or with a
Oh,
4, 5, 6,
alright.
he'll fall forwards.
Okay. 1d6, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he falls forwards, asleep. I'd say he's snoring gently, but he's more sort of like wheezing because he is very, very hurt. So, congratulations, you have 2 unconscious Sahuagin, and you notice again that there is one dead Sahuagin that's sort of hanging half out of the well where it seems to have been climbing out, and it's taken what definitely appears to be like a hatchet attack a couple of times to the face as it's been trying to get out. So you guys can all intuit with your passive perception. I think, okay, well, Varen definitely can't.
Yeah.
Okay, but Alpha can definitely intuit with Alpha's passive perception that these Sahuagin came out of this well. You can see over here that the settlers, the farmers, have evidently like made a temporary barricade with stakes and sandbags to prevent any sort of incursion from further west. So they were evidently kind of aware that this position might need to be made defensible, but yeah, they were obviously not expecting it to come from below. So around this campsite, you've got a little sort of field here where, Sly, you've been here before. You knew that they were growing like fruit trees and stuff like that around here. You remember this having been a sort of barn house that is now kind of burned out, and the roof has collapsed, and they've kind of moved the debris out of the way, but it's given them a little bit of cover from the elements. So they've set up a couple of little tents in here and a campfire, and you can see some supplies and stuff. You can also see a couple of like pickaxes around and a little cart that they've been like loading some of these gems into. And you remember Weiss Kate back in Airport was basically telling you yeah, they kind of sent word back that they discovered, like, they're not miners, so they don't know about this, but they discovered some kind of gemstones or something, and they suspect that it might be of value, and basically requested that like a survey team kind of get out there, and never did. The scout is not here, obviously.
Okay.
And Ergemir, the man that you were sent to rendezvous with, is lying dead, impaled on a spear against the rock
I know
face.
he's
Sorry, chat.
What
He's
can
dead.
we-
Dead.
okay. I mean, this potion's pretty good. No.
Okay.
Sorry, chat.
What would you guys like to do?
Brave Flux would actually feel pretty bad about the whole shrapnel spiel. Would go over to Egg Elder and maybe like try to find a sort of like keepsake that they could pass on to the family.
Okay. What do you find? What do you think that you would find as a keepsake?
Well, they were botanists of sorts, right? Their hatchet would be quite personal to them, perhaps, or
Yep.
something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe a piece of like jewelry, like a necklace or a bracelet or whatever.
Yeah, he was evidently a man of faith. He's got a small wooden kind of token on a leather strap around his neck, carved with the symbol of Limlayan.
Okay.
Okay. You'd like to take that?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically to give to the family.
Okay. All right.
Meanwhile, Varen still pissed off. Now the scout's a yellow jacket, correct?
The scout is a yellow jacket, yeah, formerly of the Knights of the Barracuda.
Okay. So Varen's going to still angrily
Mhm.
kind of get up to the unconscious body of the Sahagin and punch him awake.
Okay. I'll get you to roll me damage. You're gonna auto crit.
I'm gonna auto crit.
Mhm.
So this is possibly gonna kill him. Jesus. Actually, second thought. Let's rewind that.
Okay.
Let's just slap him awake. Like, you know how you just kind of.
Oh, okay. All right.
His face a few times.
Okay. You want to slap his face?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't respond. He's barely breathing, and he doesn't stir at all.
He doesn't stir at all. Is there any water anywhere?
You would have like a water skin in your pack, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do have that. So I take the water skin and kind of open it up and then pour it over his face.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, he kind of like splutters a little bit. I mean, it's almost like, he's a Sargon, right? Like he breathes water, so he kind of like sucks it in, and his eyes just sort of like kind of flitter half open, and he tries to move, but he can't, and he just kind of like hisses at you.
All right. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I've got a few questions.
He just hisses and spits in your face.
Okay. That leg's not looking real good. No, and I say this knowing damn well that the wet leg is perfect, right? Like, yeah, that leg's not looking real good, is it?
Doesn't say anything.
Okay. So I take my axe and I chop off one of his legs.
Okay, roll me an attack with your axe, auto crit. So it does max damage plus you roll again. Okay, so that is going to be 24. He, with that amount of damage, his leg comes off, and blue, thick, brackish blood just kind of spurts across the ground, and his eyes roll into the back of his head, and he stops breathing.
Never interrogated somebody before, have you?
He fucking deserved it. And then
it's called
March.
Beast Men. Ha!
And then Varen just marches over to the next one who's asleep.
Yeah, he's
and
asleep.
He'll probably be easier to wake. He'll probably be easier awake, so I'll just slap him up.
Okay, you wanna slap him?
I won't use the water. Like, I still have a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't stir.
All right, I'll use the water.
Thunder should instead use thinky brain instead of brain junk and tie the
Doesn't
fish
stir.
face up.
He doesn't stir.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
He's not going anywhere, and I'll make sure he won't go anywhere. Let's see, how could we wake him up?
I say we tie him up and I take a short rest while you wait for him to wake up, because I was injured quite severely from that encounter due to a decision made by one such goblin with bad aim.
It's not who taught you talky flapped about.
Oh, I
All right, so I look for any kind of binding or rope to tie up the sleepy Sahagin.
Okay, you have some rope. You guys all have some rope on your packs.
Okay.
You want to try and take a short rest and just wait for him to wake up?
They can.
I want to do.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
they can. I'll stay up.
Okay, you guys can take a short rest. You can roll some hit dice if you want to recover some health. Alpha recovers 2 chi. Okay,
Yes.
and regains 11 hit points. So
3d12.
about 20 minutes passes, and roll me perception, Varen, since you're over there next to the well. So you don't perceive anything until suddenly next to you, over the lip of the well, another Sahagin head pokes out just in like the corner of your vision and sort of gasps and then disappears again. And you hear a second later a splash and some kind of scratching and scurrying.
All right. Is everybody awake at this point?
Yeah, everyone's fine. They've done their stuff, but you guys, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Alfir, Bomby Boom, get over here.
Bomby. Yeah. I'm here. What?
We had another Sahagin peeked out of the well.
I peek down the well.
Okay. It's not that far down. It's about maybe 25 feet down, and you can tell, since it's about midday, the sun's basically shining directly into it. You can tell that there's like a small sort of cavernous space at the bottom there with maybe like thigh-high water. There's a rope, like a coiled rope, fallen into the bottom of the water, and you can see one dead Sahagin kind of down there already. You don't see anything else. You don't see any live Sahagin, and you could fit down there and jump down there without taking any damage, if you so choose.
Okay.
I would probably get the tied up Sahagin away, because I don't want him. If there's Sahagin coming out of here, I'd prefer he not be close to this.
I want him awake.
Well, get him awake. Get him awake over there.
All right, I'll drag the Sahagin away from the well to where I am at the rock.
Okay. What would you like to do to him?
Attempt to wake him one more time before we go down that well. We'll start with the slaps again.
It's not going to do it. This Sahagin, you can tell, is on the brink of death, even before he fell asleep.
All right. Oh yeah, I gotta get creative. I do have a pistol.
Yes, you have a pistol. Jesus.
I know where this is going.
I'm not going to shoot the Sahagin, but I will shoot like directly near his face so he can hear it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're just going to like hold the pistol next to his head and shoot. Okay. I think I'll make him make a Constitution throw against your intimidation. I'm going to see if you're intimidating enough to wake him up.
Okay.
And you are. Yeah, he fails that, and his eyes sort of suddenly kind of pop open, and you hear him sort of struggling to breathe and kind of rasp at you, and he doesn't say anything. He's in too much pain.
All right. I have a few questions. If I don't like any of your answers, and I point at the body of the legless, the one-legged Sahagin, if I don't like any of your answers, you may lose more than a leg.
Okay, he tries to bite you, and he hits. He manages to kind of lurch up just enough to bite you in the side of the neck. Yeah, and he bites you in the side of the neck, dealing 4 damage.
Okay. All right, I'll get to that in a minute. Now, why did you attack this place?
He hisses at you and he tries to break free of his bonds. All right, he does not manage to break squirm free of the ropes.
All right. So, with that, I think we're not getting anywhere here. And then I take my axe and look at it and look at him. All right, I guess I need to find a new home for this.
Brave
And-
Fox will try to interject with words and say,
Brave Fox would like you to, or would like a plunder to, thinking back that a plunder is part of the company of heroes, not company of end makers.
Boom, boom, I'm
Brave,
no hero.
Braveflux, roll me perception or arcana or history, whichever you prefer.
I would say history. Let's
Okay.
say history.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one? I've heard
Okay.
so many 10s.
Okay. From where you're standing, you actually no, I think that would be a pretty easy one for you. So yes, you look at this Argon and you're not certain, but if you had to make a bet, you'd say that this Argon is tempered, and you know that if that is the case, there is no way that you're going to get anything out of him. And furthermore, the Company of Heroes policy is unfortunately to put to death any tempered
yes, okay.
creatures.
All right. In that case, like in middle of her like trying to protest to his better side, she will catch the glimpse in the eye of the Sahagin, which is very
It's just blank. There's just
classic
nothing.
It's very classic of someone that is tempered, and just ask him to just pay her no mind and just slowly lower her arms sadly.
Well, looks like I'm finding a new home for this axe, and I take a swing.
Okay, you kill him.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I don't know what the hell we're going into when we jump down this well, but it's not going to be good.
Are we jumping down this well?
It's our only option. Any thoughts, Bommy Boom?
Brave Fox has many mind thinks. However, we have Brave Fox and Gobby friends need to find the lucky blokey. So I'm really tired. The lucky blokey that we must discover. So, I guess our plundering and Brave Fox must go forth into the hole.
Okay. Are you going to jump in?
I guess that's a 2/3 vote. Aloha, you cannot come down here with us.
Aloha is chewing on one of the desiccated Sargon corpses very happily.
Fish, yes.
Yes,
Actually,
Aloha does like fish.
just taking a quick glance, and I wouldn't mind rolling perception as well, of course. But
Okay.
is it just like a dead end besides this well? Because I see a barricade over there.
This here
That's
is a barricade. It's a pile of sandbags, maybe 4 or 5 feet high, with wooden spikes atop it, jutting out towards the west.
Cool. All right then. Yes, it seems like looking around, this is the only way forward.
Well, I had my rest. I don't know if either of you have taken the time to take a rest, but I've only got 2 potions, and that was not a pleasant battle for some of us. So I'd say that this is probably a one-way trip. If you'd like to take another rest, if you'd like to take a rest yourselves, probably not an unwise idea.
Varen just go ahead, like he just marches to the kind of cabin and just lays down in the tent.
Goblin?
Would like very muchly to have Gobby friends other than current uplanders to accompany this expedition. Personally.
You know for a fact that as soon as those other farmers get word back to Aleport, that the company has got your back, as the Vice Kite has your back.
Yeah.
You can also probably intuit that the chocobos will cross paths with these farmers. And if they have any kind of proficiency with chocobos, they will be able to ride them back to Ailport.
Flux
So it
has...
sounds like if we took a long rest, there may actually be help.
Indeed, Brayflox suggests another thinky path, that Uplander and Brayflox wait for more to arrive.
Okay.
I would not be against that.
Would you like to take a long rest then?
And in doing so, Brayflox would also use a little tinker tool she has to essentially create an alarm spell around the well, just in case someone decides to pop the head through again while they're resting.
I was going to say, you said these boulders weren't going to be big enough to do damage, but I guess we wouldn't want to plug it up because we probably couldn't lift it after the fact.
Alpha, as you... Actually, roll me perception.
Of course I do.
Okay, you notice that the large Sargon that was previously covered in tattoos, those tattoos aren't there anymore. They're just gone. He had these kind of swirling black, almost like Dravanian kind of style tattoos. You don't know why, but they're gone.
Interesting.
If you like, you could try rolling me History or Arcana.
I'm sure it'll go as well as all the rest of mine had. Let's see. Looks like it's going to be Oh, I guess they're both ints, so I guess it doesn't matter. I don't even have an intelligence. Oh, there we go.
Okay, cool. So your master, whom I don't think you ever knew his name, did you?
No.
And you couldn't really intuit whether or not he was part of the sect of Shadow, but you always had your suspicions. But you remember him once kind of talking with stars in his eyes about this old Alamegan Fist of Ralga sect of Shadow tradition for making these sort of ostensibly magical tattoos that would actually use a special like magical needle that could be reused, and that you could basically like remove the tattoo from your person and it would kind of materialize into this needle.
I'm assuming I'll have to, with that, I've intuited that this tattoo is likely some sort of similar art that I have to roll to check the corpse of the Sahagan.
Yeah, you can check the corpse, and you if you want to like communicate this to the others, they can also check.
Well, I'll try myself first, and then we could have. Okay. I think maybe Brayflox sees me.
All right. Well, you're searching. Do you want to roll perception?
Yeah.
Or investigation?
Hey.
Do you like help? Okay. Are you gonna like communicate what I just told you to Brayflox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brayflox.
Hey, Goblin. Get over.
Brayflox and Varen, you guys both hear this, and you can both roll me history checks if you like.
Okay.
History.
Yeah. Roll me history.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all the same roll anyway.
Okay, cool.
19.
With that, Brayflox at least certainly knows that. Oh yeah, both of you know absolutely, and you're a little surprised that you didn't think of this before. There are rumored to be tunnels like all around through this part of the island beneath the water's surface that Mistbeard was kind of rumored to use for hoarding and storing goods and valuables. And none of you have any idea like how a sort of Dravanian artifact could end up on Vilbrand, but you suspect that maybe these Sahagan have been getting into one of Mistbeard's hoards here, if they have such a thing. So between the three of you, roll your perception with advantage, perhaps, because I think you'll find it. This is just going to depend on like how long it takes.
So is perception with advantage is that
just roll me? I
take the higher.
Just roll me another perception.
I'm gonna take bets on this one.
There's my first roll. 5. Did you say with advantage? Can I roll again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
if I get
I would
another
have
5,
lost that bet.
Hey,
okay. All right.
Crit. Got a crit.
Okay, Brayflox kind of spots it immediately. She's very used to kind of digging through corpses for shinies, and you find this little needle. It's about as long as a Here's finger. It kind of looks like a paintbrush, but with like a hard edge rather than bristles. And it has these kind of ornate carvings kind of up the length of it.
Brave Fox has spied some interesting shiny junk. Oh, splendid!
I recognize that.
What would you like to do with it?
My master always spoke of tools like this. And while they can be used to obtain a great deal more power, I think we've seen the effect that it has on those who use it. I don't know if it's safe to use something like this.
I'll be touching junk of Brave Fox.
Okay, Alpha, you know that it probably isn't particularly dangerous. There's a chance that it is, but not a huge chance. You've kind of heard horror stories of people like not kind of attuning properly to these and sort of losing an arm or something. But nothing sort of more nefarious than that. You know that all it would take would be for you to basically like push this thing into your skin on your arm or your leg or whatever for this this tattoo to basically be like attuned and imbued to your skin. But Brayflox has it right now, so
Brayflox does pause a moment. She did kind of shove shrapnel into him by accident.
Yeah, if any of us is going to take this,
there is a
feel
distinct
like I
tilt.
deserve it.
Yeah, there is a distinct tilt of the head as she, has a moment to pause and have a quick think.
Brave Fox has decided that they will gift this shiny junk to Uplander. Out of Brave Fox's utmost generosity.
And then she'll hand it over.
Okay. Well, weighing the risk of the unknown more than anything else, and thinking about non-canonically all of my previous roles up to this point, I somewhat hesitantly place the needle to the back of my forearm.
Okay.
And after a deep breath, push it down.
Okay, cool. You feel like a sort of flash of hot pain creep up your arm in tendrils, and you now have. I'll get you to describe what it looks like, but you now have an Eldritch claw tattoo, which
that's pretty explicit as is.
Which will give you all of your unarmed strikes will deal magical damage and +1 bonus to damage and attack rolls. And as a bonus action, you can empower the tattoo for 1 minute, which will allow you to strike opponents with your melee attacks up to 15 feet away with an extra d6 of force damage.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot to keep track of.
But you can only use it once per day.
That's cool. You got a limit break, dude.
Yeah, essentially.
There's other stuff here that I won't kind of make you guys sort of roll to investigate and all that. I'm going to assume that you're like, from this point, pretty thorough in investigating these corpses and all this other stuff. Is that okay? You guys happy with that?
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
should search all the corpses for loot.
Yeah.
Brave Fox is one to look for shiny junk anyway.
Okay.
Although she's a bit hesitant because this is someone that has just died.
Okay.
You already have his
specifically.
All right.
More specifically, Baron wants to know if are there any more crystals around?
Yeah.
A lot of crystals.
Heaps of crystals.
Okay, perfect. So Baron, like any loose ones I could just get?
Sure. There's some that have been kind of mined off in a cart nearby.
Yeah. So I'll just like take a pouch, like my pouch full, my explorer's pack. I'll just fill my explorer's pack full of these crystals. And
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't weigh too much. So you take as many as you can. Now, you also find, as you're stepping over or perhaps around Egamar's corpse, you notice his little botany axe. It's not a botany axe. I don't know where you learned to be a warrior who kind of taught you that
Mhm.
tradition? Was it one of the Hellsguard clan?
No. I never specified who, but I just said that like during my travels, I kind of, just trained, half self-trained, and then I met a person.
Okay.
I didn't say who. It's unnamed.
Okay. Roll me a history check then.
Okay.
So you're not sure exactly what it is, but you can tell that this is an heirloom. It's not a hatchet so much as like a tomahawk. And
Mhm.
Egamar, I mean, he's not a soldier now, but you suspect that he probably was at some point, because this is a really like nice quality bit of equipment that he's just been kind of using as a botany tool. Would you like to take it?
I would love to take it.
Okay. So this is what I have called a Hellsguard Tomahawk. It's a +1 hand axe, so that's an extra +1 to hit and an extra +1 damage. It does 1d6 slashing. You can throw it with a range of 20 feet or a maximum range of 60 feet. And on successful ranged attacks, it will deal an extra 1d6 of slashing damage. And you don't know this yet, but I'll tell you anyway, you can recall it back to your hand with a free action, like Thor's hammer.
Awesome.
So you can use Tomahawk now, basically. You also find among his belongings in the makeshift camp further assurance that this guy was definitely, if not a soldier, then definitely like from one of the pirate crews at some point. You also find a +2 pistol of warning, which is +2 to hit, +2 damage, 1d10 piercing. And you can take that yourself, or you can give it to Brave Flux, maybe, because it's probably better than a musket.
Yeah, I'll give it to Bomby Boom.
Okay. All right. Cool. Do you guys want to try and take a long rest here?
Yes,
Absolutely.
that is what we agreed on.
You do that. You try and settle in. It's midday. You try and settle in for a long rest, and you all fall asleep. And you are all going to wake up very, very groggily somewhere else.
Oh, this looks pleasant. Well, it doesn't look like anything, to be fair, but
Oh, that's right, because you guys can only see so much. The alarm spell, if it worked, if it did anything, it didn't wake you up.
Where the fuck am I?
Where's my cat?
Aloha's not here. Roll me perception.
Christ.
Okay. With that much, you can tell that you're in a cave. There are bare cave walls. There is a kind of like raised sort of wooden deck under your feet. You kind of wake up on this green rug, and you can see to your left there is a massive pile of gill, like 6 feet high and sort of 30 feet in diameter. Just this massive pile of gill and gems. There's a rack of various weapons in front of you. There are some chests behind you. There's kind of crates and barrels and supplies and stuff. And I think on the edge of your vision, you can see there's right here, there's a sort of little campsite right here.
Any weapons of note?
No, nothing that
Okay.
looks particularly kind of significant or valuable.
Okay.
But you do notice there's this kind of like dull sort of blue purple ambient light that seems to be cast from a couple of these huge formations of coral at the far side of this cave.
Oh, God.
Pleasant. Just what I've always wanted to be. A Sahuagin captive. How did we not wake
So
up?
we're
How is this even possible?
You're asking the wrong person. Let's just
You didn't wake up?
Fuck, I'll do it.
Your bombs don't work. Your spells don't. What is this?
You slept so deeply.
Soundly.
And so soundly. You didn't even kind of realize how quickly you fell asleep. You just went.
Are we barricaded in?
You can see a door here.
So we can leave this little area we're in, right?
You can see a door over here.
I'm
Oh,
back.
hello. Welcome.
What's happening?
You all woke up in a strange place.
Like I said, I was... Oh, okay, cool. I set an alarm spell.
Brave Fox, roll me Arcana.
Okay. That's a +3, I do believe.
Okay, cool.
18?
You know that it would take an exceptional amount of stealth or a very powerful magic to be able to detect and deactivate your alarm.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah. So
Sure is.
yeah.
And
So
as I'm still like groggily kind of getting my surroundings. Yeah, by the way, Bomby Boom, happy Starlight, and I hand her the pistol.
okay. You have a +2 pistol of warning. It does 1d10 piercing, 30 over 90, and basically it will alert you enough so that you can basically roll initiative with advantage.
Brave Fox is both confuzzled and also happy.
Okay.
Happy's not the word right now. So, Varen decides to leave this, try to, walk out of where he is to kind of get his bearings.
Okay. You're going to
Like,
step.
Sure, let's just
Slowly,
walk
but-
ahead without checking anything. This seems like a wonderful idea.
You're not tied up. You still have all your belongings.
Mm-hmm. So I just walk out, and I kind of
Where do you
look around, but as I
Okay. Down the
right
steps?
where I am,
Yep.
but as I can see, with the grid, I really can't see much. It's dark, but I see the hue. I see a little bit more of that hue.
Mm-hmm.
And
As I was just telling the others, Brayflux, there is a massive pile of gil and gems, like 6 feet high and 20 feet in diameter over here.
I'm going to ask that you keep yourself calm. I know goblins like shinies. I think we need to look through this and see if there's anything else we can use, anything that can let us know where we are or how we're going to get out of here.
Brave Fox has many years more than you, Aplander. Brave Fox can hold on to her junk very firmly.
I'm not worried
Varen,
about you holding on to your junk. I'm worried about you holding on to their junk.
And
Okay.
Varen still deadpanning, hears that. Says, "Ooh, you got told off by a fucking goblin."
Nobody tells me anything. I'm just looking for a map or a belonging or something. Where's my cat?
Okay, so you guys trying to investigate your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As one of you eventually moves up to the door, I imagine at some point one of you is going to find your way to the door. You can hear on the far side. You can hear voices. They don't sound like they're immediately on the other side of the door, but you can hear them sort of echoing through whatever space is beyond. You can hear sort of indistinct echoing conversation.
Can we make out what they're saying? Do you want me to roll for that?
It is extremely unlikely you'll be able to make out what they're saying. You can roll if you like, but you would have to. I don't know what your perception is, but you can make a roll if you like.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try. Why not?
Completely indistinct. It sounds like it's one voice, and you can't make out what it's saying, but it has the same sort of pattern and intonation, sort of over and over and over and over. Would you like to interact with the door?
I'll slowly open the door, not all the way, but kind of crack it a little bit to kind of see if we can make out a little bit more.
Okay, it's locked. The door's locked.
Fox will wave a hand and pull out some tinker tools to do.
Yeah, Tinker Tools are good.
Beat me to it.
Tinker. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she will attempt to just she'll examine the lock first, and then
Okay.
try to like size up the tools she has and then choose the correct size, etc.
Okay.
It takes a frustratingly long time considering the situation.
All right.
Yep. So let's see. Would it be like intelligence or something?
Yeah,
The-
roll me
player?
intelligence with proficiency.
Okay. So that
Because you're
is
proficient in the tools.
yes. So that's +3 and proficiency is 2, so 5 total. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the door swings open. It's a fairly simple lock. When you examined it, you didn't see any signs of traps of any kind. So the door swings open with a fairly noisy creak, and you can step through if you like. How are you going to proceed?
Like once the door opens, I'll kind of like slowly kind of step, not to, kind of silence my steps and, keep echoes to a minimum. Slowly step out, not walk too fast, but kind of get a gist of the whereabouts and where we are. And I'll kind of wave the other two to follow suit.
And that I will.
Okay. I'm going to reveal something to stream that you guys won't be able to see. But I need to check something here. Yeah. All right. So you guys
I see you checking the distance on that at the
are
very
you,
least.
Are you guys trying to shush? Are you guys trying to be sneaky?
Yes.
Trying.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, trying
Roll-
is the word.
Roll me stealth checks as you move through the door.
This has gone
Okay.
so well historically.
3.
Oh, I can't wait to see. Oh, that's not great. That's
Sorry,
wow.
everybody.
Okay. Don't worry. I have a feeling I'm about to join you in that regard. Oh, I almost was just as bad.
Okay.
Oh,
Finally, I'm the stealthiest.
you did it.
Not much.
All right. So, Bray, Flux, you kick a pebble and sort of stumble as you walk through the door, and Varen reaches out to catch you, and you both sort of stumble, and there's a loud kind of jingling and jangling of all your gear, and a huge amount of crystals in Sly's backpack. A couple of them sort of spill out and drop on the ground, and you go, shit.
Yeah, I was
Under your breath.
about to say that, like, shit.
Under your breath.
And I
Yeah.
kind of quickly,
Mhm.
I kind of quickly reach for him, pick him
Yeah,
up.
as you step through the door, what is like pretty apparently a kind of chanting you hear suddenly stops, and a couple of moments later, you hear some shuffling. And actually, let me make sure this is.
Now I can see him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
now I can see him.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you see him, and he sees you, and he
Turns out-
hisses and raises his spear and turns around and says, "Your Eminence, our guests are awake." And you can roll for initiative.
We sure can.
Yay.
Yeah, we sure can. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's
That's
fine.
really
I've got
funny.
3 bombs left.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's been fine historically.
Yeah.
You guys are not
D20
disarmed.
plus
You've got
dex.
all of your gear. Yeah. It's just a D20 plus dex.
No proficiency bonus?
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
And Brayflux, you get
Oh my
some.
god, I don't want to go
advantage.
last. This
Holy
is gonna.
shit.
Oh no! Now I'm gonna. Oh please. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, Brayflux gets advantage with the pistol warning.
Well, I mean, I got 19 anyway, so
Okay.
it's pretty good.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
Worth a try.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you go with a 19. And okay. All right, Alpha, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm assuming we're in combat now.
You are in combat now, yes.
But we have fog of war.
Yep, you do. It's quite dark in here.
It's very dark in here. And I'm very afraid. I'm gonna if that one's just on its own on the little narrow path, I'm gonna walk up to the narrow path. I guess it's a little bridge or step or stairs. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to attempt to very quickly execute this Sahagan right here.
No.
Get him.
I'm trying to work out how to like extend lighting here, but I don't know how, so don't worry about it. Here, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more vision. Okay, can you all see a little better now?
A lot of more vision.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well, as you step around this boulder, I think Alpha,
No.
that's what you can see.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can see. I can see all right.
All right. Cool.
I am going to roll an attack on the Sahagin that's right in front of me.
Okay. That is absolutely gonna hit.
All right.
Okay, that's pretty good.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw my good luck out the window and do a flurry of blows to follow it up.
Oh man. Okay. You just run up and punch him in the chest.
I'm
Now,
trying to take it out.
are you adding the extra damage?
So it's +1. It would be that would have another +1.
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
another
Okay.
+1. So for your hit and your damage roll, you're adding another +1.
Hit and the damage roll. So it'd be 22 and 8
Mhm.
basically.
Yep.
Okay. I'll make sure to do that in the future. Okay, so I do 8. Actually, if instead of flurry of blows, if I because I can move after an action, can't I?
Mhm.
Can I move after taking a hit? Would he have an
Opportunity?
initiative? Would he have an advantage? Yeah, would he have an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, he'd have an attack. If you're moving like into his melee range and then out of it again, he will get opportunity.
That's
Yeah.
what- He wasn't looking at me, so I wanted to make sure. He's looking the other way. He's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to KO him ASAP then. So I'm gonna flurry of blows. 6 everywhere.
Oh my god. Yeah, they do actually hit. Yeah, 12 hits. Because you got
That
the +6
means
now, rather than
I
+5.
get the extra.
Yep.
I get the grease lightning proc.
Yes, you do.
And
So you got another
I'll
one.
roll 3d4s, and we have to add 4 to each of these.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's an extra 12 on top.
Yeah,
That's
he's dead.
23.
Very
He is extremely dead. How do you?
Very, very.
Okay, so this fresh Sargon, you just run up on him, you sprint up on him, and how do you do this? Because he's extremely dead.
It's 4 quick blows. 2 to the chest, 2 to the face, just on the ground instantly. The
Okay.
last hit, just bam, right in the face. His head just smacks against the rocks on the ground,
Mhm.
breaks open, just bleeding.
All right.
This is some Fist of the North Star shit going on. Oh god.
I know.
Right.
The scene you see before you, I mean, I probably don't need to describe it, but you see a mountain of this, what you now understand to be water crystal, piled up on the edge of this this short pier. It is glowing with a bright sort of white-blue light. You can sort of feel the kind of like radiant, it's almost like a prickling kind of cold wind, but without any wind against your skin as you sort of approach this. There is a large Sahagin here clutching a small piece of bone or something, you can't quite make it up, to its chest and chanting. The water here is quite shallow. It's maybe only waist deep, but it is full of bodies, some fairly fresh, some very, very old, like years old at least. But just, you'd have to say dozens of bodies. One of them is very fresh. You see a pool of blood here, a body that's still floating, that is wearing the uniform of a yellow jacket.
Can we make out who it is?
Am I the only one who can see this? Am I the only one in range to see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's small. It's a Lalafell.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I'm the only one. I convey back to them that I see what looks to be a fresh body in the water, and I describe it as such in a yellow jacket outfit.
Okay, you do all of this in like 1 second, like buddy, fresh body,
That
yellow jacket,
needle-
lots of blood.
That needle was not messing around. I got in, I got the kill. I can see
Oh
it
my-
from where I am on the bridge.
Okay. Do you have any more movement?
No, I shouldn't. I don't think I can
Okay.
move after that.
All right. Allies can move freely through your space anyway, I think, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, it is Brayflux's turn.
Yeah, I need to find Aloha, and nothing will stand in my way.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it okay though? It's okay. It's fine. You just watched a guy explode in front of me. It's fine. The glow of the crystal does illuminate the area though,
Yeah.
yes?
It definitely illuminates the area, and from where you are, you can see here now there is a tall, white-haired Ellison man standing there, just kind of with his hands clasped behind his back, observing. He doesn't even look at you as you step up, and he doesn't like. There are Ellison on Vilbrand, obviously, but this man, he's dressed like not like anyone that would be from Vilbrand. He's dressed perhaps more like an Ishgardian, definitely not someone from Limsa.
He doesn't seem to be struggling or anything.
No, he's not struggling. He's just watching.
Okay. Having a harsh reminder recently with a Sahagan bloke that what could be in this situation. She gulps behind her mask. Since we're already in combat and it's pretty obvious what we're up to, Brave Fox will take out her new shiny pistol and aim for the nearest Sahagan, right here.
Yeah, you can hit him, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll try to okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Damage 1d10
1d10 plus 2.
Plus 2.
Whatever, well, plus an extra 2 on top of whatever you already had.
Okay. Alright. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely like takes that one quite heavily and sort of stumbles and turns and like screams at you in this kind of guttural Sahagan sort of hissing scream, and the Ellison man just kind of glances at him with a look of like mild irritation and just sort of gestures and says, well, go and take care of that, will you? We still need a moment here. And I think that's your turn, isn't it?
Okay, this has got this is spicy. This is
Okay.
spicy suddenly. All right,
Van?
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Varen?
So, let's get a quick.
Wait.
I can.
Oh my gosh. I'll keep my mouth shut. Wait.
Like I'm thinking of something for Bommy Boom.
I'm thinking of staying away from wherever Bommy Boom is going.
You gonna encourage the bomby boom? All right.
I actually kind of want to encourage the Bommy Boom. From where I am right now, LOS. Can I see this one?
No, you definitely can't see him from where you are. You'll have to step about halfway under the bridge before you can see him.
I'm going to move right kind of next to Bommy Boom. Now, you said there was a yellow jacket here. Well, I'll click.
There's a yellow jacket here, like lying face down in the water with no like visible wounds, but the way that they are bleeding, it looks like they've had their throat cut.
Can I make out? Do I know this yellow jacket?
Roll perception. No,
I don't know shit.
no, you can't. You can't tell.
Do I want to know? Fuck.
My gosh, I'm flapping my
Well.
arms.
Do I want to know?
You're currently in the midst of combat, and you've got one Sahagan hissing at you.
Right. I'm trying to make up my mind if I want to use. I'm not going to use inspiration on that. No, fuck that. Okay. I see everything. I see the Sahagans. See a bunch of crystals. I kind of take a deep breath. And then I look down at Bommy Boom. Is this going to be another repeat?
Mayhap, if Uplander insists on calling Brayflox Bommy Boom.
Well, when you do repeated performances, you earned a name. All right. I'll berserk. The Sahagan closest to me.
Yeah, this one here. Yep.
He's pretty banged up, right?
Yeah, he's pretty banged up.
So I'm gonna take my Hellsguard Tomahawk
Okay.
and lob it at him.
Okay.
God damn it, no. Sorry.
Just take the first one.
Okay, we'll take the first one. And that is a hit. Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Okay. All right. It kind of hits him sort of square between the eyes, and he drops, and a little bit of blue blood kind of splashes out and hits this Ellison man kind of across the shoulder, across the lapel, and he sort of looks at it and frowns and waves a hand over it, and the blood disappears.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, and it's his turn, and he steps forward, and he says to the priest, who is certainly starting, like he keeps chanting, but definitely looks really nervous and kind of got his eyes darting around. And the Elzen man says, "Oh, worry not, my friend. You're nearly finished. I'll give you a few moments." And sort of smiles wryly before turning to you guys. Each one of you, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, all three of you.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's just plus
I have a
one.
feeling I know what this is gonna do.
I know.
I think I know what's about to happen.
I cry.
I wanna use
16. I got
inspiration.
16.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. That was
Okay.
a good move.
All right.
That was a good move.
Varen and Brayflux are fine, but Alpha, you fall to your knees and you are paralyzed.
Great.
And you can make another saving throw on your next turn. But for now, you cannot move, you cannot speak. You are completely paralyzed. The priest, again, eyes darting around, completely disregarding you, keeps chanting until they reach the end of this stanza, if you will, this kind of thing that they've been repeating over and over and over and over again. And suddenly the crystals before them flash brilliantly and then slowly begin to dim. The priest lets out a sigh, like he's been holding his breath this whole time, and sort of falls to one knee with this length of bone that he's been holding, that's been clasped into his chest. He sort of falls by his side, and the Elzen man sort of reaches out a comforting hand and says, "No, that wasn't so hard, was it? Your faith has been rewarded, my friend. Well done." And he reaches out, and the piece of bone drifts up and clasps into his hand. And the Sargon looks relieved and pleased, and then starts sort of like shaking and convulsing, and looks up at the Elzen man in panic and starts trying to say something, but then just dissolves into ethereal particles and scatters. The Elzen man turns to the three of you and he says, "Well, that's the first part, I suppose. You are a bit late, I must say, but I suppose I shouldn't expect too much. If you would like to see the second part, you can join me up above. You just follow the tunnel north of here, and I'll make sure that you've got a nice vantage point."
Are we out of battle?
No, you're not out of battle yet.
Fuck.
But he is going to use a legendary action.
Of course he is.
And you see a black seam sort of appear behind him and slowly pry open with these tendrils of black purple flame. It seems to be like opening a hole in the fabric of reality. And he looks at you and smiles, and that's his turn, because he can't move right now.
Brayfrox does not smile back.
Good to know.
So I guess it's Happy's turn. It's Alpha's turn.
So I'm just rolling a save.
Yeah, you're rolling a what did I say? It was wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom
Yeah.
saving throw with a DC of 14. So you've got
Oh,
to.
so like that's I need to get a 14.
Yeah, you need to make it 14 to break free of this
Well,
paralysis.
I hope Rayflox likes her turn.
Oh,
Oh, never mind.
Okay,
I'll take it.
you manage to kind of, clench your body up and shrug off this paralysis and stand to your feet. But that unfortunately is your turn. Okay,
Woohoo!
so it's Brayflux.
would like to ask, do they have a link pearl? Because I would like to contact the Company of Heroes at Alapur and go,
None
hey
of
guys.
you have a link pearl.
Oh no! How will
Seems
Minfilia
like poor
talk to us? All right.
foresight.
Mm.
Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, she's gonna basically run up to this crystal here. What does it look like?
What does it look like? It's very rapidly starting to dim and fade. And that sort of feeling of like cold wind blowing against you when you sort of step near it, you don't feel that anymore. And in fact, it is like deathly still in here. There's no ripples on the water. The air is just like, it's not moving at all. It's just this oppressive stillness.
There's a deep breath. And she turns back to the other two.
You know the Elzen man's still here, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
thought
just
he...
ran up next to him. He just ran up next to him.
Right up to him.
Oh, I thought he disappeared.
No.
I'm
No,
so
he
sorry.
couldn't move.
No, he didn't have any.
Move.
He didn't have any
can't move.
movement.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
he could cast, but he didn't have any movement with his legendary action.
shoot him.
You gotta shoot him at point blank range. Okay, roll me attack with
Got a fucking
disadvantage.
Glock. There we go.
Roll me attack with disadvantage.
I made a decision. Fuck it.
Okay.
All right, disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. Okay.
Oh.
So you fire at him, and as you go to shoot, there's just kind of blur through the air as his hand moves up in front of his face, and the bullet kind of connects with his palm and doesn't pierce his skin and just drops to the ground. And he just stares at you with this like impassive, emotionless stare and doesn't say anything.
Feels like they've done a whoopsie dook.
Varen, it's your turn.
All right, Varen is gonna move up, kind of behind Bommy Boom because he just saw what transpired.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna walk up. He's not gonna attack, and he's gonna speak to the Elzen man. Couple questions. Who in the seven hells are you? My next question would have been, why shouldn't I bury my axe in your skull? But we both know that's not gonna happen.
Oh, you should. You ought to.
Don't tempt me.
Mm,
And what in these seven hells just happened?
well, I wouldn't like to spoil the surprise. As for who I am but a humble servant of the 12th Chalice, retainer to His Eminence the Speaker. Though your former Commodore, Salmanson? Yes, Salmanson, I believe. He knew me simply as... And he frowns, sort of trying to remember. Travanchet, I think. And he sort of thinks, like, trying to decide whether or not he's going to indulge the rest of your questions or not. And as he sort of frowns, you suddenly hear like this rumbling, and the water begins to sort of shake and ripple, and from beyond the crystal into the darkness of this water that extends, you're not sure how far out, but you suspect probably out to sea. You just hear this scream, this bestial scream that sounds like 1,000 balloons being rubbed down 1,000 violins. And it hurts, not because of the sound, but because of the sort of frequency of it. It like physically hurts. And Travanchet says, "Oh, well, right on time. I'm afraid no more questions for now. I don't think you have time anyway. Your comrades could really use your help. So if you just sally forth the tunnel just to the north of here," he points up here, "I'll make sure to save you a seat." And he steps back towards the portal. You can take an attack of opportunity here if you like.
I will.
And now things are kind of frozen for some reason. So I don't know why that's happening. Let me try changing scene and see if it fixes it.
I do want to try an attack of opportunity.
You're still all frozen. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'll say you're still berserking. This one's probably a little bit iffy,
Okay.
but I'll say you're still berserking. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Was not meant to be.
Okay, as you swing at him, so we rolled a 1 and then we rolled a 2. As you swing at him, he just holds up one finger and catches the edge of your axe. Like, you don't feel any sort of give, and
What the fuck are you?
and he just turns and walks through the portal, sort of, you know, chuckling to himself. He's quite pleased with himself, actually. He thought that was pretty cool. And the portal vanishes behind him.
Oh, he got a rule of cool on us. No.
He did. He sure did. Now, you guys have a choice here. We are already running a bit over time. You have a set piece coming up, which is going to be the... I don't want to spoil anything.
Climax.
It's going to be the climax. Yeah. So you can try to pursue that, or we can reassess and perhaps reschedule. I don't know how you guys are feeling. We can make this one shot a 2-shot.
Yeah, no problem. I'd love to.
Again, this was my first attempt at this. I knew there was going to be some pacing issues. It went honestly about as I was expecting.
Except for the part where we did something completely different and you had to wing it.
Yeah, except for the part where you did something completely different, and well, the thing is, you guys were just not wanting to jump down that well. And you could have taken.
We were going to jump down after a long rest.
Yeah, you could have taken other paths that would have gotten you to where you are now, other than going down the well. And in any case, Travanchet, as he's just revealed himself here, does actually have the spells in his spell list. I'm not going to spoil his spell list for you, but he has the spells in his spell list where he would actually be able to do what he did while you guys were asleep. So he did. So
It all is revealed. Interesting. As soon as I realized he wasn't really reacting after when I shot that guy, especially when he said that line after I shot the Sukahagen, I was like, no, and I started flapping, physically flapping behind the mic. I apologize for weird noises, guys. I just got excited about that stuff.
okay,
I'm just glad I got no flurry of blows on this first saw again.
that was so good. I've learned a lot just today, so I would like to thank you guys very much. And if it wasn't kind of clear, if I didn't mention in the intro, I'm not sure if I did or not. This is my first time DMing in 15 years, basically since I was a teenager. As my first time DMing 5th edition, and it's my first time playing this Final Fantasy XIV homebrew. So it was always going to be a little bit scrappy. And the plan is that as we continue this series, I will get a little bit more fluent, and things will kind of, get better and better. But we'll try to pick this up again for a short... It'll be a couple hours tops, I think, left. So maybe sometime next week. But we can talk about that on Discord.
Yeah.
All right? Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you
So-
very much. Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank you guys. First of all, I'd like to thank our players here, because you guys have been fantastic and so much fun and so accommodating. So please, everyone, thank our wonderful talent here in Hapsly and Leak. You can find links to their content across various platforms in the description below on YouTube, and I'll have it in Twitch chat, or one of the mods will. I would also like to thank Tabletop Audio, with which you can spice up your own campaigns for free at tabletopaudio.com, as well as Epidemic Sound, Soren Asgard for designing this fantastic, honestly, pretty pro standard homebrew. Leak, again, thank you so much for the wonderful artwork. And of course, thank you so much to our Twitch subs and our Patreon supporters, not just for the support, but for being so wonderfully encouraging and forthcoming with feedback whilst I've been working hard to produce this over the last month or so. It's the support from you guys has been fantastic. It's kind of a new experimental type of content for me, And I really appreciate you guys indulging it. So all I can say is I hope you like it, and I hope that you will show up next week when we reach the conclusion of this perhaps final journey for these members of the Company of
That'll be
Heroes.
fine. You see that intro? We're fine.
Yeah.
As we find out what could possibly have happened with these crystals here, and what could possibly be happening with all these Sargan and this mysterious man named Dravanians. So once again, thank you three so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, be good.